Hi, it's Natasha. Thank you for watching my video and stopping by my channel. Right now, I want to talk about my Nespresso Latissima Plus. And this is for anybody who loves coffee, who loves macchiatos, who loves a really, really good cup of coffee. So I want to start off by saying, how did I stumble on or discover this company and the machine? So I've always liked a foamy milk consistency, and I've always liked a lot of milk in my coffee. I prefer lattes and frappuccinos versus just, a regular coffee with just maybe half an ounce of milk. I don't like that. So I was trying to research on the options for frothers. I even bought like a $15 frother that it's like a stick, and it has a spinner in the end, and you put it in your cup and you press the button and it's supposed to froth it. It didn't really work. It didn't really work. It was a waste of money. And then I brought the, it looks like a cup. It really looks like a coffee cup or a mug, and you put it on a stand. You put it on a stand, and then it has like this, there's a cover for it, and there's a spout in the end, and of course there's a holder, and inside there's a spring that will froth the milk. That was fine. That was actually really good. However, because of how much coffee I do use and I do drink, before I was pregnant, I would drink more than 1 cup. And it's like 90% milk, so I prefer frothed. I don't know. I just like the texture. I just like it. It's my preference. So I would use it maybe 2-3 times, and after about a month, it just broke. And they weren't very cheap. I think they were like between $50 to $100, I think. So I went through like 2 or 3 of those, and then I think my husband, at the time we weren't married yet, he could see it in my face, because he told me, he said, "I could see in your face how disappointed and sad you are about this." And I'm like, "I am." He goes, "I know, because you love coffee so much and you love doing all this." I'm like, "I know." But this was years before I discovered Nespresso. So, after that, I kind of just gave up, because that was the best rated frother. And I already bought the best rated frothers, and they really didn't work. They were just junk. So I gave up on that. So what I did after that was I would put a lot of milk in my coffee mug, or my latte mug, which is I think 24 ounces. I would fill it, and I would just put it in the microwave and heat it up first before I put my coffee in. So after doing that, I really don't remember. I think at some point I just got frustrated in doing that instead. So I started to look for milk frothers again, and I kind of thought, it's been a year, maybe a little bit more. There should be some kind of development. Unless you buy like a really fancy espresso machine, there's not a lot of options in a standalone frother. I don't know, I really don't know how, but I was able to stumble upon the Nespresso company and the machines. So that really blew my mind. I probably discovered it in the middle of 2015, or, excuse me, earlier on. It could have been spring or early summer, I'm not sure. So what I would do is almost every day I would read about it. I would watch any video that says Nespresso, even though it's not the Latissima Plus. It would be a different machine. And as much as possible, I would just go through them. Sometimes I would watch them over and over again at different times of the month, just to kind of just keep on educating myself, because I've never seen it in action. I've never known anybody to have it. I just didn't know a lot about the company, and I've never heard of the company. So So that's what I did for months. My husband saw me doing it so many different times, so many different days, weeks, months. Like he just knew that I really, really wanted that machine. How did I manage to narrow down the specific machine and why? And when I did buy the machine, they just started the Ventural line. I have the Latissima Plus comes in the original line. So there's 2 lines of machines. 2 lines or 2 kinds, whichever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. So the reason I did that were a lot of things. When I checked the machines, I believe at the time the Ventura line had about 2 or 3 options, and they did not come with a milk frother. My Latissima Plus has a cylinder frother, and I think it was the second most expensive. The one more expensive than my machine at the time was $5.99, and mine was $4.99 plus taxes. I forgot what the difference was, but it was, the difference I didn't really mind, or I didn't need the extra options for the difference. So I just thought, hey, this fits everything that I want. The other one, there are other things, or it lacked things, or like this was my perfect match. So that's why I picked that one. And also the pods are cheaper. The original line, let's see, what is the original line? The cost of it is 75 cents per pod. The Ventura line, at the time, I think they only had the 85 cents per pod, but now it is between 85 cents to $1.20 per pod. So I thought, because I'm going to always be using this machine and drinking their product or their coffee. So I thought, you know what, win-win. This is the perfect machine for me. And it is also on the cheaper side of every pod. So I like that part. I also picked it in intense black. It came in 3 different colors, I think, in red, in chrome, which is like a stainless steel color, and in intense black. Intense black is just where you pop in the pod when you open that part. That's the part that's stainless steel, and the rest of it is black, like a glossy black. There are like few things in there that is stainless steel color, and then the water tank in the back is just clear plastic, like thick plastic. I bought this, and I ordered and purchased it online through their website, Nespresso.com, on December 21st, 2015. I do not remember when it arrived. I really don't. But this was my husband's, one of my Christmas presents from my husband that year. And I still remember, because my husband is more, like, he's more on the generous side when it comes to that. I'm more on the frugal side, especially to myself. I mean, even though I have a lot of Louis Vuitton, but I think that's my biggest indulgence aside from my macchiato machine, which is the Nespresso. Most of the stuff, I'm pretty frugal in that aspect, and I guess that's to fuel more of my Louis Vuitton addiction. So anyway, I still remember it was that day I was staring at the machine, and he was like, okay, you need to buy that right now. And I go, no, I was watching a video and looking at their website and reading about it and just probably drooling. Like, maybe not literally, but he could see probably in my face, like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this machine. Like, I want it so much. And, I was always trying to save us some money, because I wanted to make sure when we find the dream home that we both really want, that, we had the cash to fall back on for whatever we might need. And it was Christmas, and I didn't really think about that. I was thinking long term. I wasn't thinking, well, it's Christmas season. That doesn't matter to me. So this is exactly what he did. He came into our office. This is in our our last apartment, because now we live in a house. And he came in one of the rooms, which we made into like an office. And he said, just buy the machine right now. And I said, no, I don't know. I'm fine. I have my coffee maker. I have my KitchenAid coffee maker. I'm fine. He goes, no, you're not. You look at this thing every day. You like stare at it every day. Every time I see you, you're always looking at it. Every single time you're reading something about it, you're watching a video about it, you're on their website. Buy it right now. I go, no, I think I can wait. And he goes, no, you can't wait. You have been looking at this thing before the middle of the year, and if you're not gonna buy it right now while I'm watching you, I'm gonna buy it, and you know I'm gonna buy the wrong machine, the wrong color, and you know, we both know I'm gonna buy like other stuff that you don't want or the wrong stuff. And you're going to have to exchange that, and you're going to have to talk to somebody that might give you an attitude, might give you a hard time. He was just like scaring the crap out of me. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll buy it right now. So I ordered it within a few minutes. And I remember he left the room. He goes, if I come back here and I don't see any kind of confirmation that you've already purchased it, I'm just going to go buy it right now at the physical store, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And I know you're going to be you're really going to get upset and frustrated and stressed about it, because I know I'm going to get the wrong one. And I'm like, all right, I got it. You know, I showed him the email. I showed him my order history, like all the proof of it. And he was like, there you go. Don't you feel so happy now and relieved that you actually purchased it? I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. He's like, you're welcome, and Merry Christmas. That's one of your Christmas presents. So that's how I actually, you know, pulled the gun and bought it. Because you know, it's a really big purchase, especially for a coffee maker. It's $500 plus taxes. So I really had to think a lot about it. So next. Let's see. The Ventral line, I just didn't like it. I'm just being honest. I just didn't like it. I still don't. I look at it even today. Now I believe there are, I think the price of my machine now, if you buy brand new, it's like $3.99 now. Instead of $4.99 for when I bought it, plus tax. And I believe there are 2, 3, or maybe 4 more expensive ones that obviously they've changed certain things in there, but I still love my machine. I don't feel the need to want to upgrade anytime soon at all. But if I had to, let's just say if I had to, then it would still be in the original line, and it would still be somewhat similar to that. If not the same machine, probably something newer and better. If I had to. That's a big, big if. And after almost 2 years of owning it and having it, I'm very, very happy with my decision. I have never, ever had buyer's remorse or regretted it or had any kind of problems with it. I've loved my decision. Because it comes in a container that you can fill milk in it. I have tried it in different kinds of milk. I've tried it with regular milk. I've tried it with 2%. I've tried it with non-fat and 1%. I might have tried it with whole milk. I'm not sure. But then, a few years ago, I became lactose intolerant. So I switched to, let's see, soy milk about a year ago, I think. Maybe a little bit more. And someone told me that, a few people told me that soy can be bad for you. And I did my research, and when I talked to my husband about it, he also said that, yeah, soy can be really bad for you, especially the soy in America. So I told him, why didn't you say anything when I was buying soy milk? He goes, I thought you knew. I'm like, if I knew there was so much stuff in there that's bad for you, I wouldn't have bought that. He goes, well, I thought you knew. So anyway, I finished all the soy milk that I bought, and I switched to almond milk, and I've been using almond milk since then, and it tastes like whole milk. It's so creamy, but it's not, you know how you have a glass of whole milk, and for me anyway, when I have one glass of whole milk, I feel so full for hours. It's the same, but you can feel that the whole milk is just extremely fatty, but the almond milk is not. So I really love my almond milk, and I use my almond milk with it, and it froths beautifully. I think it froths better than the soy milk that I had to go through like 3 or 4 or 5 different brands and types of soy milk, and some of them were better than others. I tried, I think, 1 or 2 different kinds of almond milk. I buy my almond milk from Costco, and they're the Costco brand, and it's I don't have any complaints. It froths beautifully. I drink it as is, and you know, I've never had an issue with it, so I really like it. So it does mesh completely well, perfectly with my Nespresso machine. Let's see. When I first got the machine, I don't know if it came for free or I bought it, but it came with every single flavor of coffee. And so it was one sleeve. It's not like one pod only, one sleeve, and one sleeve comes with 10 pods in it. So the only flavors that I liked in the end was the vanilla and the Kaza. The Kaza intensity is 12 out of 13, and the vanilla is 6 out of 13. For like an everyday thing, I just use 1 pod for my vanilla, with the vanilla. If I am just extremely tired, I'm so sleepy, and I need so much to do, I need to wake up like right now, I use the Kazar. If I don't want the Kazar, because the Kazar is really intense, I've used, like, if I need something in between the 1 vanilla pod and the 1 Kazar, I will do 2 vanilla pods. And what I noticed is when I use this kind of coffee and I use this system instead of the drip coffee, I don't use as much sugar. And yes, I do use sugar. I use brown sugar with my coffee. I don't use the refined white. I think I don't know. It feels like there's like a weird aftertaste for me, so I switched to brown sugar. After having to try Nespresso and trying all their coffees, it's the best coffee I've ever had. It is so delicious. I'm not a big fan of the Starbucks coffee. I will drink it if I have to, just because Starbucks is like a McDonald's for coffee. It is just everywhere, and when I need a little pick-me-up and I'm on the road, there's always going to be a Starbucks somewhere. You know, it's just inevitable. Like I said, it's like a McDonald's. So I will get myself an ordered coffee there. But if I have to, I really don't want it to. But you know, you gotta compromise and adapt to your surroundings. But if 1 out of 10, my Nespresso coffee is like a 10, drinking like a Starbucks is like a 2 for me, a 2 or 3. If I do for my drip, because sometimes I will buy drip coffee if I run out of the pods, and sometimes, because it wasn't until recently that there's a minimum of $50 for free shipping. It used to be like $200, I think, or 150. So sometimes like for free shipping, so sometimes I'll just be like, I ran out of pods and I just placed an order. So I'll go to the store and get myself like a pack of ground coffee. I usually buy Seattle's Best, and that is way better than Starbucks in my opinion. So I do like that one for my drip. So if you are kind of contemplating and thinking about the Nespresso machine, I do recommend it. And to be quite honest, I thought I was buying a latte machine. I didn't know it was called a macchiato machine. I know I did all that research. You know, if I read it, I just kind of like just went over my head and it just never got retained, because it wasn't until I called them for some kind of technical support that the person on the other end said, "You have a macchiato machine, ma'am." And I said, "Oh, I didn't know that." You know, I really didn't. I thought I had a coffee machine with a milk warmer and frother, or a latte machine. I didn't know it was technically called macchiato. So there you go. Thank you so much for giving the time to watch my video and spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you're going to subscribe to my channel. I really love having new people joining my YouTube family. And if you want to leave any kind of questions, comments, anything, I love reading those, and I love getting those as well. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.